All right, welcome to Owning Your Health. This is Dr. Kyle Loveless with my beautiful wife.
Hi, I'm Dr. Holly.
Yes. And today's show is going to be awesome. One of the things we've talked about the last few days, our last few shows, is how do you create your own healthcare plan, right? The whole idea of this program and this podcast, the reason we're doing it is we truly believe people need to become their own health expert. We live in a world today that you truly actually have to understand health, not just go through life and do whatever, like 50, 60 years ago. We actually have to become our own experts because there's so much stuff out there. And it really is, we live in a world, unfortunately, a sick, suffering world where people are heart disease, diabetes, cancer is the norm. So if you want to be different than that, if you want your family to be different than that, you have to become your own health expert. And so the concepts we've been talking about, how to create your own health plan for you in 2022. And so the areas we decide to look at are, we call it the DREAM concept. Okay, so Dr. Holly, what is the DREAM concept?
So it's an acronym for diet, rest, exercise, alignment, and mindset. And so we talked about 3 of those already, and we're going to dive right into talking about alignment today, I believe.
Yes, we're going to dive into the alignment and why that's so important, the movement of the body, the posture of the body, and why that's crucial to your health. So if you haven't listened to the other podcasts, go back. We talked about the diet. How do you make that specific to you and your family? How do you, we talked about mindset. I think that was the first one, the mindset, and how powerful or how important the mindset is to your overall health. And then we also talked about rest. So are you getting enough recovery and sleep? Today, we're going to dive into alignment. And then on the next podcast, we're going to get into exercise and how do you create that exercise plan for you. So, Dr. Holly, first question for you right off the bat. Well, first of all, how are you today?
I'm good. And I just want to say, if you're listening, let's create a community out of this. So like, comment, and share so that not just you is working on your health, but everybody around you. So you can do it together. It can be fun. And we can make a difference in our community.
And I should talk slower.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Holly, why is the alignment so important?
So
tell us what that actually means first.
So alignment, really, we're talking about posture and we're talking about alignment of the spine. So both of us are chiropractors and we love it. We get super passionate about it because we know that we can help change the trajectory of your life by changing the alignment of your spine in so many different ways. And it's super exciting and super wonderful. But why it's so important is because your spine literally protects the powerhouse to your body. So you've got your brain, which is protected by your cranium and your skull, which is connected to the spine and the nervous system. And so the brain sends signals down the spinal cord and out the spinal nerves to your heart, your lungs, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your throat. For any of those organ systems to work, for you to hear me right now, for you to listen to me, for your heart to be beating, those systems need to be working. And the spine is there to protect it. And it's so important that it's in the right position, because if it's out of position, then it's not protecting it. It could potentially be harming it.
Yeah. 90%. This is what they've shown, 90% of the stimulation to your brain. Remember, your brain controls everything. Think of that as like the electrical power system in the community that goes to each individual house and runs the electricity. So your brain controls everything. So 90% of the stimulation to your brain and the nutrients and minerals and stuff that gets to your brain comes from the movement of your spine. So if the movement of your spine actually makes everything else function, it's going to be very important that we're paying attention to that we're moving our spine all day long, and that the alignment is in a good place, because when our alignment gets out, it actually, you have certain areas of your spine that aren't moving anymore. And that idea of sitting all day long, right?
So what takes the spine out of alignment?
Lots of things. So physical stress can do it. Chemical stress can do it. Emotional stress can do it. The most common thing that we think of and we focus on is the physical stress, whether it's a car accident. They've shown that anything, Yale did a study on this, and they showed that anything over 8.2 miles per hour, I don't know why it's 0.2 and not just 8, but that's what the study said. 8.2 miles per hour can actually cause ligament damage in your spine. So you're literally ligament problems, okay? Just like you tear an ACL, that's a ligament. It doesn't heal itself. So you got ligament damage in the spine, and they said that doesn't always cause pain.
Right. So how many of you listening have actually been in a car accident? You're like, oh, I was fine. I walked away. I didn't have any pain, but my car was totaled, or the bumper fell off, or the front end smushed in. And my communication to patients or anybody I'm talking to, let's think about this. If it could bend metal, that impact could bend metal, do you think it could shift something in your body, or the spine, or any of the bones in the alignment?
Yeah. And so it could be a car accident. It could be another trauma, sports injury. I talked to someone yesterday, patient just started care, and we were going over his x-rays, and his neck was completely reversed. It was going the opposite direction of it was supposed to. You could tell there was ligament damage there. He was starting to build bone spurring and degeneration, degenerative changes, which, by the way, after something like a car accident where you have ligament damage, it takes about 10 to 15 years before you ever build that disc degeneration. And so there's so many times patients will come in just like him who, I think it was 15 years later, he has now disc problems, and he's only about 24 years old, young guy. And he said he couldn't figure out what the accident was. And he said, you know what? I forgot about this. When I was 8 years old, I was running through a dark parking lot, and I ran smack into a car and busted my nose, broke my nose, and flipped my head backwards. Pretty much a whiplash injury. So it's not just a car accident. Any kind of whiplash injury. Hey, if you're a football player, you have kids that are football players, that's a car accident every game.
Soccer players. Soccer players. Oh my gosh, headers.
Yeah. One of my favorite sports studies is that a longevity study on sports, and the two sports that you live the shortest on or have the least longevity with is soccer and football.
I believe it. And
we both played soccer, which stinks. But the best, by the way, is tennis.
And I still think it's an amazing sport you should do. You should just take care of your spine.
I don't know. I think my kids hopefully won't play soccer just because of that. But tennis is the best. But anyway, so back on track here. So when it comes to alignment, it's crucial. It runs everything in the body. They've showed sitting is the next smoking. They said that if you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, that's actually not as bad as sitting all day long. That's how important it is. And I think every single one of us, just think to yourself, when you sit all day long, do you have more energy after sitting for a long period of time?
No, it makes you super tired.
Yeah, you're exhausted because remember, 90% of the stimulation to your brain is that important. So, Dr. Hawley, what about the people that their job is sitting on a computer all day long? What are they going to do?
That's really tough. So the good news about if you're sitting all day is that you can counterbalance that and counteract that, versus if you're smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, detoxing the body from that is much more difficult. My question quickly, what if you do both?
What if you smoke and sit all day long?
Yeah.
Well, then you might as well just get a bottle of whiskey too, because it isn't looking good for you. So you might as well just drink your sorrows away too.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go through 5 things you can do. So if you're listening and you have to sit for your job, or you've had any of those impact injuries, or you're a belly sleeper, that's another one. If you're a belly sleeper, you're going to mess up your spine and your nervous system. But the first thing that you can do to counteract this and counterbalance this is what we call a wobble cushion exercise. And so Dr. Kyle can link the video to him demonstrating that below, and you can actually watch it. But just a description of that is you sit on either an exercise ball or a balance disc on a chair, and you're going to take your spine through all ranges of motion. So you're going to shift left and right, like with your hips, almost like you're salsa dancing. And then you're going to go forward and back like cat-cow in yoga. And then you're going to twist your spine fully from the left and the right. And when I say the whole spine, I mean your head and your neck has to move as well with it, not just your shoulders. And you're going to try to look all the way over your shoulder to the back of the room, or you're going to go down and up, doing full range of motion. And why that's so important is we're trying to activate every single paraspinal muscle. Those are the small muscles that hold the spine in alignment and allow for movement of the spine, and for it to protect the spine and the nervous system from going out of alignment. And then second, it's also going to pump or imbibe water into the disc space. So the disc is this, almost think of it as like a gelatin between the two pieces of bone. And once it starts to degenerate, that disc can squish out like peanut butter and jelly on the sides and create what people know as a herniated disc or disc degeneration. Now, if you're imbibing or putting water, nutrients, and oxygen into the disc, it's going to keep it nice and plump and prevent it from degenerating.
So you must imbibe every day.
Yes.
So you could Google imbibition, and that's actually what it means. Old fluid in, new fluid out. When it comes to your disc. And that's something we have to do every single day. So watch this. When it comes to disc degeneration, this is one of my favorite myths, I guess we would say, about degenerative disc, is that so many people go to their medical doctor and they tell them if they have disc degeneration, they say, oh, that's just age, or that's just genetics. And this is my favorite way of dispelling that myth, is when you look at an x-ray, and let's say the disc between C5 and C6, so the lower part of your neck, let's say that disc is degenerated and you're starting to build bone spurring, and you can just tell it's arthritic, right? And the patient comes in and they say, oh, the doc says just because I'm getting old, or it runs in my family, everybody's had it. Well, then my next step is I go up just a couple notches, and I go to about C3, and I look at the disc between C3 and C4, and it's healthy. And I say, okay, how old is that disc compared to this disc? And it seems like a smart, way of saying it, but it truly is like,
They're
it's
the
the
same
same age.
age.
Or what about whose genetics is that disc versus this disc? It's the same person. And so
Yes.
the point is that it has nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with genetics, right? You can be predisposed to break down faster, I guess you could say, with genetics. And you could, if it's there, the longer it's there. So that part has something to do with age. But the point is that I've had 90-year-olds come in without disc degeneration.
Yes.
And I've had brothers with disc degeneration and one without. And so it has nothing to do with genetics. It has to do with stress in the joint. So if you're someone that had a car accident years ago, or you've been sitting at a computer most of your life, and you head down with kids with these cell phones and kids with these
Phones are
iPads.
terrible.
I see 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds on an iPad all the time. They're going to have a reverse curve in their neck. They're going to have disc degeneration by the time they're 20, just the way the body works. So the body will actually create that disc degeneration to help you. It's a survival mechanism. When the joint doesn't move, the fluid can't get in and out, and so it'll actually dehydrate. And so when there's no disc there, now the bone has to spread itself out. It has to increase its surface area, and to the stress that's happening in that joint, bone will lay down. That's the body's response to stress in an area. It lays down more bone. So it increases the surface area so you can actually handle it. The problem is eventually that surface area gets so big, it starts pushing on nerves, and it becomes a very big, painful problem. And so it's actually a survival mechanism. And so to those people that say it's genetic or it's an aging process, no, it's stress in a joint. And if we can keep that joint moving throughout your life, then you don't have to have disc degeneration. And you can actually not necessarily reverse disc degeneration, but you can stop it from continuing if we can get movement into a joint. We see that all the time. So wobble chair exercises is number one. Number two, what's the second thing, Dr. Holly? It reminds me of you that you can do that you can do for a alignment of your body.
And preventing disc degeneration and changing the trajectory.
It's a very specific exercise that reminds me of you, and it's called wall what?
Wall angels.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Okay, so this one's really simple as well. You're going to stand against the wall. You're going to stand against the wall, and you're going to make sure that your heels touch, your hips touch, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists.
That's what I was trying to go for. This one. There we go.
Very good. Very good. You're going to make sure that all of your posterior is touching the wall as much as possible. Some people, because they have such bad forward head posture or grandma posture, won't be able to get their head there at first. But you're going to do your best to touch everything against the wall, and you're going to move your arms up and down like you're making an angel. Just like you were making a snow angel on the ground, you're going to do it on the wall. If you can't move your arms up and down, you can just hold that posture. And you can start at 30 seconds, and you want to work your way up all the way to 3 minutes of holding it against the wall. And this is to be done daily to counterbalance the forward head posture that you're using for your phones, for your technology, on all of your computers, sitting, all of those things. Now we need to activate the posterior muscles by standing against the wall.
Yep. So these links for these exercises, we have videos on our YouTube channel. If you haven't been there, it's Loveless Health Solutions. Make sure you go on there. These podcasts, by the way, are being videotaped as well. I think since the fourth one on, we'll have videos with them as well. And so you can actually watch us do these things. It's pretty funny to watch, probably. So the wobble chair exercises, the wall angels, both those are videos that we have on Loveless Health Solutions. So go on our YouTube, like it, love it. Get some more of it. What else is there? Subscribe, all that good stuff on there. So, okay. So wall angels, that's a crucial one. I tell people that there's 3 exercises that if they just did these 3 exercises every day, it would be amazing for counteracting. Number 1 is the wall angels. Number 2 is wobble chair. Number 1 is wobble chairs. Number 2 is wall angels. And then the third one, we're not going to talk about too much today because it is something that really needs to be prescribed to an individual size-wise, but it's called a Denny roll. And so we'll talk about that more in the future. Or if you were to come to our clinic, we can get you one of those. But those 3 things are amazing for keeping structure in your spine. All right, number 3 is by far my favorite thing. It's something that obviously both of us are chiropractors, and we're spinal corrective chiropractors. So we work to correct the spine and people's posture and get them in a good alignment, not just get rid of back pain and neck pain. And the chiropractic care is the third thing I'm going to say. And chiropractic care is amazing. One, obviously for back pain and neck pain. Hey, if you're in pain, then you need to go through a series of chiropractic corrective care to get not only out of pain, but to correct the problem. Then once you're out of pain, if you're someone, hey, I feel good, I just want to work on my posture, or I just want to be healthy overall, chiropractic care is amazing for that because it affects the organ system that runs everything else. It actually affects your nervous system. And what people don't realize is the nerves that come out of your spinal cord that go to your heart, they don't have any feeling to them. Okay, so
no, they're solely for function, and you don't know if they're not getting enough nerve flow.
Absolutely. 90% of the nerves in your body are for functioning of your body. For you to digest food, there has to be nerve supply there.
100%.
And that comes from down the brain, or from the brain down the spinal cord and out those nerves. And so the spine, if it's not moving properly, it's going to cause stress in that area, and it can actually cause damage to the nerves or just irritate the nerves. And if you don't have pain, we think, oh, it's fine.
Correct.
I've seen some of the worst spines come into our clinic that have no pain at all, and I've seen some decent looking spines that are in a lot of pain. And it's because it's all about whether or not it's irritating the nerves that cause pain.
Correct.
And so if you have irritation to the nerves to your digestive system, that can cause constipation, that can cause bloating, acid reflux. All those things will come from that. And that's why it's so cool when we start getting people under chiropractic care and we start getting their spine moving. Remember, 90% of the stimulation to your brain comes from the movement of your spine. So if we get your spine moving, guess what? You start functioning at a higher level. It allows your body to literally adapt to stress and gives you an opportunity to get back into homeostasis or balance, which is when you're in homeostasis and balance, you reproduce properly. So I think right now it's 8 out of 10 patients that come into our office get pregnant that want to or don't. Some people, we talk them into getting off birth control because it's horrible for you, and then they get pregnant, they get mad at us. But others come in, right? And I have a few people I just pop in my mind right now. I just had a patient last week came in so that she could get pregnant because she heard that we can help her do that. And just by getting her spine moving.
Yeah, we didn't change anything else.
That's it.
The best side effects, they say, of chiropractic are sleeping better, more energy, pooping better, and reproduction better.
I like how you said reproduction, not better sex. I'll say what everybody else is thinking. So hey, if you want those 4 things, you need to be under chiropractic care. But our kids,
maybe your wife or husband needs to.
Right, exactly. So yeah, if it can't get off the floor, you need to get L4 adjusted. Is that how it goes? Yes. That's how we used to remember in chiropractic school. L4, lumbar 4 vertebrae. L4 hits the floor.
Yes.
All right, we'll leave that. So, but our daughter's 5 years old, and our other daughter's 2 years old. They've been adjusted since birth. I think our 5-year-old's had 1 fever over 5 years, never had an ear infection, never had any of the stuff I had growing up, and they've been adjusted every week since they've been born. So it's amazing for functioning. And if you want to get your spine in good alignment and good function, you need to be under good chiropractic care. And for therapeutic care, it might be 3 times a week. For someone in wellness care, meaning they're feeling good, we just want to keep them good health, it might be once a week or it might be every other week. But you definitely want to keep that as a regular tool that you use to counteract everyday life. If you sit all day long, you need to be going to a chiropractor. So that's number 3. That's by far my favorite because I've seen more, just one last thing. I've seen more what we call miracles, but really just life-changing things that happen to somebody that's come in from back pain. We adjust their spine and their irritable bowel syndrome goes away. Or I've had patients with ulcerative colitis and all we did was chiropractic care with them. Now we do a lot more than chiropractic care, just FYI, but some of these patients just come in for that and now they're sleeping again. Or now the husband who couldn't get had erectile dysfunction now does not have erectile dysfunction. Pretty cool.
Let me just clarify that we're not just saying that chiropractic cures those things. We're just saying that getting the body in alignment allows it to work and function like it's supposed to.
Yeah, properly. If you listen to us, if you ever heard anything we say, it's always nothing cures you. The only thing that cures you is you. You heal
getting
you.
Your body working.
It's just like I said, it's a tool you can use to help your body get back to balance, and it's one of the most powerful tools I've found.
And safe and effective.
And safe and effective things that your body you can use as a tool to get you back to balance and healing. Now you could have gone to a chiropractor, got great chiropractic care, and you still aren't pooping. You're still constipated.
Because something else is going on.
Exactly. It's not a cure. It helps your body get back to balance. It might just not have been enough for you to get back to balance, right? So there's going to be more to it for you, and that's why we do other things in our office as well. And chiropractic is a tool that we use.
Correct.
All right. So number 4, this is the one that everyone always asks about, and it's ergonomics. Is how should I sit at the computer? What should my sitting position be like? And then also, what should I be sleeping like? Let me just check our time. All right. So we're gonna go through ergonomics and then core strength pretty quickly. So Dr. Holly, how should you sit at a desk?
So you want to make sure that your screen is at eye level, so you're looking straight forward. You're not looking up. You're not looking down. You want to make sure that your keyboard has your wrists in neutral. Your shoulders are relaxed, not hunched up, and you're not looking forward. And then you want to make sure that your knees are at 90 degrees on your chair. So sometimes you have to change your chair height. Sometimes you have to change your screen height. Sometimes you have to change your keyboard height. But you want to be in the most neutral position as possible, and then you want to be moving every 30 to 90 minutes. So I tell patients to put a timer on their watch, on their monitor, that tells them to move, and it could be as simple as just like shaking around in your chair so you're not stuck in that position.
Like shake your sillies out?
Yeah, shake your sillies out. Who's got a 5-year-old, 4-year-old?
That's what popped in my head when you said that. Or you could have your wobble cushion there, right?
Yeah, you could put your actual balance disc or wobble cushion at work. Tons of our patients do that. Super effective.
That works too.
Yes, and we've actually donated wobble cushions to kindergarten classes and second and third grade classes, and had kids sit on those because it's good for their spine and stimulating their brain.
Mm-hmm. So it has to be in a good position. Again, we'll have a link on good ergonomics as well, so you can see a picture of that. And then how do you sleep? When we sleep, so many people sleep on their stomach, and I would say that is the worst thing you can do for your spine. Mm-hmm. When I talked about ligament damage in the beginning and how that patient had ligament issues, when I see ligament damage on an x-ray, I either think trauma, car accident usually, or they slept on their stomach. Yeah. Migraine headaches, first thought is they probably sleep on the, not always, but first thought is they're probably a stomach sleeper, because your head's turned all night long, and it causes so much damage in your neck. So you want to sleep either on your side with a pillow between your legs and your head in a neutral position, or on your back in a neutral position with your curves supported. And what I mean by that is the curvatures in your spine having some sort of a support. It's hard to tell you, to be really honest, on a podcast. You got to see it. So I'll have links on how you should sleep and how you should sit at a desk. And a lot of people think, hey, standing desk is better. Yes, moving is better. But standing in one position all day long is really hard on your body too. So you want to be sitting and standing. Just keep yourself moving throughout the day. So those up-down desks are awesome. All right, final thing is core strength, and I'll just shoot right into this. When it comes to core strength, there's a ton of things you can do. Any type of weightlifting exercise is going to help your core strength, but planks are one of my favorite simple tools that people can use. On our YouTube channel, I actually have a video of all the different levels of doing planks. So some people say, I can't do planks. I'm too heavy, or I'm too weak, or I haven't done it long enough.
You can always start somewhere.
Yeah, you can start at some level.
Wall plank, or like from a table.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a video on how to start getting planks into your daily life. I recommend 2 to 3 minutes a day. Now, not consistently 3 minutes of planks, but totaled out.
If you can, you're a rock star then.
Yeah. Dr. Holly can. Pre-pregnancy.
Pre-pregnancy, yeah, you can do it now.
I don't know about
that. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't be doing planks.
Yeah, whatever we say, if you're pregnant, watch the pregnancy exercise videos instead.
Yes. But
so the core strength is very important. So you wobble cushions are good for your core strength. Those exercise balls, working on those are good for core strength. I'm going to recommend this. We have some videos on core strength, but I would just go in and put in YouTube core strength exercises and start to research different things you can do daily that are helping the strength of your core, because that is what holds your spine in a good position. And I think that's probably the biggest missing link is abdominal strength is very weak. Hip flexors are very tight. Hip extensors are very weak, and it's because we sit all day long. Or even people that run a lot or play sports typically have this issue as well, and it causes this pelvic tilt, which is one of the main reasons for low back pain.
Yeah.
So those are the 5 things, guys, that you can do to help your alignment. I'll go right through them. Or Dr. Hall, you want to go through them again?
All right. Wobble cushion exercises, wall angels. You can think of me when you do it. Chiropractic care, proper ergonomics, sitting, sleeping, standing, all of those things, and then core strength exercises.
Simple things. And if you make those, again, what you do on a daily basis is what you become. What we just told you are habit and lifestyle changes. They're not something you can do once and see all the changes in the world. There's something you have to do on a daily basis over a year at least, and then you'll see those changes really happen. And so, again, it's the little things little decisions you make every day, a little bit of mindset stuff for you guys there that will change your life. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for listening. This is Owning Your Health, and we want you truly to become your own health expert. And so please like this, share this, and go onto our YouTube and subscribe to that so you can get videos coming out there. Oh, finally, we have an awesome ebook on inflammation. the one core thing that causes most of disease is inflammation. And so we talk about what are 10 ways you can get rid of inflammation and 10 ways to find out if you are inflamed in that ebook. So if you want that also will be in the links below. Just click on it and you can get that there.
Awesome.
All right.
Get after it.
Talk to you guys later.